Hello viewers and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. On this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy and governance. I am Hamza Idris. The ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, has accused opposition political parties who lost in the just concluded Kogi governorship election of deploying undemocratic means to ventilate their loss at the polls. Addressing a news conference at the party's secretariat, its National Publicity Secretary Felix Moka tasked security agencies in the state to tackle all threats to peace while calling on political stakeholders to look for legitimate means to seek redress. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman reports.
The political battle may be over, but the tensions in Kogi State in the aftermath of the governorship election remains palpable. Series of attacks have been recorded just weeks after Kogi State alongside Imo and Bayelsa took part in the upcycled governorship elections on November 11 this year. The APC is now alleging a calculated attempt by political actors to destabilize the polity in the state.
People of Kogi State deserve their peace. Those who contested the election have an avenue for venting their grievances. They should do so. We've seen the attack on the INEC resident commissioner in Kogi State. We've also seen the alleged attack on the secretary of the tribunal in Kogi State. Now, the police has issued a statement recently, which we welcome, saying that they have launched an investigation into these incidents. We implore them to thoroughly and expeditiously investigate these circumstances in order to do what the law requires, which is to bring the perpetrators of these violent acts to justice.
While acknowledging the rights of the opposition candidates to seek redress through democratic means, the APC says security agencies in Kogi State must be alive to their responsibility of maintaining the peace in the face of threats capable of undermining the fragile peace in the state.
We, as the ruling party, we're also unhappy with a lot of outcomes with the elections that happened. But as I said, our reaction is not what you've seen the opposition react. This idea that I didn't win, therefore everything must come down. If we do that every time somebody loses an election, then we will never have a country or even a democracy to call our own. So I think that we today will like to call on the opposition in Kogi State and elsewhere for that matter to follow democratic process. If you choose to go to court, it's your freedom to go to court. Do so and allow your opponents too to also express themselves legally within the context of the case you brought.
The APC, while acknowledging the imperfections of the elections, is refuting claims that it is responsible for political attacks in the state as they challenge the opposition to provide evidence of culpability. APC's Usman Ododo won the keenly contested election by a landslide victory to defeat his closest rivals Murtala Ajaka and Dino Malai of the SDP and PDP respectively. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
That was Felix Moka, the National Publicity Secretary of the ruling APC. Viewers, on tonight's program, we'll be beaming our focus on the issues in the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP. Recall that there has been some back and forth between the Dr. Boniface Aneobanam faction and the Konkosia faction of the party, leading to the purported expulsion of Senator Rabi Musa Konkoso as leader of the party, as well as the Konkosia movement over alleged plans by the former Kano State governor and his supporters to hijack the party from its founder. Tonight, we'll be speaking to one of the factions with the hope of getting a better understanding of the issues. I have with me in the studio the National Auditor of the NNPP from the Konkoso faction, Ladipo Johnson Esquire. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, thanks for having me.
Yes, we're happy having you in the studio.
Yeah.
Yes, but before we go into the issues in your political party, you've seen our tidbit. The National Publicity Secretary of the APC accusing the opposition. You're also opposition. What is your take on his claims?
Well, I think, generally speaking, if you want a democracy, you have to ensure that the rules are clear, that it's operated in a transparent manner, and that way you will find that when you have a level playing field, not just having it, but it being seen to be level by the average man, then you will find that you won't have such acrimony amongst parties, amongst individuals. Somehow, 2019 came and went. You understand? 2015, I should refer to, where a sitting president lost an election for the first time. I'm not sure that there was as much acrimony as we have now.
What are the factors? Why?
Good. That's what I'm trying to say. For some reason, it seems that the elections at that time seemed largely transparent, largely peaceful. Nothing is perfect, but it seems that somehow Jega got some things right. But now it's gone slightly downhill, either in fact or in perception. Now, when you have that, then automatically some people feel that you're pushing their backs against the wall. That is when you begin to get them saying all sorts of things, doing all sorts of things. So yes, it is all right to say that, oh no, go through the rule of law, go through this, which is what we all say. But as I said, we should also look deeply into it. What are the things that are going on that are making participants feel that either their mandates are being stolen, or that they're not given equal access, or something is not fair? And that thing goes all the way. Even we know that there's been issues about the judiciary, even to that level as well, unfortunately. So I think we all need to do some thinking. You understand? Those who are into politics, those who are in INEC, those who are the police, the DSS, we all really need to look at things. I always say something that people are not fools. Some people might decide to keep quiet. It doesn't mean they're stupid. But you see, the system must be such whereby democracy is a difficult form of government. Very difficult. Because your right stops where someone else's rights begin. Very difficult form of government. It will not just go one way. You understand? So the publicity secretary of the APC has a good point, but we all need to think deeply. It's easy to say, oh, that man lost, and why shouldn't he go through proper routes or whatever? If genuinely that man feels that there is no proper route to go through, then he begins to think about alternatives.
Just yesterday,
which is wrong.
INEC official who was heading to the tribunal with documents,
yes,
was actually attacked.
That's unfortunate.
And the document stolen.
That's very
SDP,
unfortunate.
PDP, and rest, they've been accusing APC. And here we are today, APC now accusing PDP and SDP.
It's always
Where are we getting it wrong?
We're getting it wrong as a people. You understand? Nigerians, on average, are selfish people.
Nigerians generally?
On average. You understand? It's a system whereby almost anything goes, winner takes all. The man in Nigeria doesn't want to crawl before he walks. He doesn't want to walk before he runs. The average youth now wants to become a multimillionaire without working. You don't abuse them when you say Yahoo, Yahoo boys. They have the leadership they are looking at. It's an unfortunate thing. It's become like a cancer all through the system. So when we just take one part, or the judiciary, whatever, you can't just take the judiciary alone. They're part of parcel of society. And society, we have lost the moral fabric of society. You understand? And so it's a tall order.
Right, I can see you have a lot to say on this.
It's a tall order.
Yes. Now, many Nigerians believe that if there is any party that, rose to prominence within the shortest time, but suddenly collapse of sort, is NNPP.
Okay.
Where did you got it wrong?
Thank you very much for that question. Firstly, let me correct when you introduced me.
Okay.
I am the national auditor.
Yes.
Of the New Nigeria People's Party.
And that's what I said.
Yes, not the Kwankwaso faction.
Okay. Okay.
There is no Kwankwaso faction.
All right.
There is one NNPP. Right? The NNPP, as you said, rose within a short time. Yes, Dr. Boniface Anibunam, one of the founders, you said the founder. Again, is it possible for one person to found a party? It's not possible. A party is not an enterprise. It's not a business name. You need people from different parts of the country you understand? Several people come together. Look at the constitution of the party. You see, I want to talk properly today, not sentiments.
That is it. But before you allow you to talk properly, should we now, carry our viewers along by not pretending that there is no problem? Because when I introduce
I'm not saying there's no problem.
When I introduce you as factional auditor, loyal to Kwankwaso, or you are also the auditor of the Boniface, Anil Bonam, and Agba Majo.
Let me explain.
Yes.
You see, when I explain, you see that I'm giving you both sides.
Yeah.
That's me.
Good.
They say when they're fooling you, don't fool yourself.
Okay.
I'm going to your question. There was the NNPP. Boniface and some people, right, formed the NNPP. Did you know of the name NNPP before this last elections? The chances are probably not.
Well, I know many people, a political party, but not one to reckon with.
Exactly. Now, they had a group called the TNM. They had Kwankwaso. They joined in. And within this electoral cycle, you saw what happened. It came to prominence around the country. And to date, we're discussing it tonight, as we discussed it yesterday or whatever, as people keep discussing. That shows that it is a party that Nigerians know about. Now, when you talk about factions, I need you, either you ask the producer or whatever, to give us the meaning of the word faction.
Yes, when we say faction,
hang on.
You have two people claiming right.
Hang on.
Yes.
You can, in a political setting, in Nigeria we always say, oh, factions. No. When you look at the word faction, it must be maybe left-wing faction of a party, so faction of a party. They must both be inside that party. You understand? What happened in this case was different.
How different?
Good. The people who gathered at Boniface's property in Apapa, Lagos, had been suspended and some of them had been expelled. Now, when you are out, you cannot form a faction of what you are not in. If I am in, I am disagreeing with you, I'm going to convention with you, I can have a faction. Do you understand? What happened then was that they had been expelled. I want you to do a research. Look at the chronological events that occurred. If you look at it, there was expulsion, Delta and Ogun, right? Then suspension, then expulsion. Immediately after that expulsion, they gathered in Akpakpa at Dr. Boniface's place.
The founder.
Yeah, there's no one doubting that.
He's the founder of NNPP.
Please, he is one of, or maybe the main founder, but don't use the word the founder. It is wrong. One person cannot be the founder. If you have 2, 3 shareholders in a company, there's the owner. It's wrong. You understand? We're trying to use sentiments. I'm not saying Boniface is not Boniface. I'm not saying he's not one of the original founders or maybe the main driver of the party. But you don't tell me, you understand? It seems we're arguing on semantics. Yes. You don't tell me, it's not, ask INEC.
You know, you can only educate us because we don't know. And
yes,
many Nigerians are also not aware.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
That's why I said how our party is registered. Several people have to sign up.
The signatories
from different parts of the country. You understand?
They have not been talking as far as NNPP is concerned.
No. That's not the issue.
Okay.
Someone joined, has left, or is sleeping. Is different from only one person took a form and went to INEC. It's not possible. Check your constitution and ask INEC, not Ladipo Johnson. Then they'll tell you. It's a minuscule thing that we're arguing about. Do you understand?
So can we now establish that within NNPP there are 2 groups? The Boniface,
within
led
NNPP,
by Agbo,
excuse me, sir.
And then Konkoso,
within NNPP, sir.
led by Alikau.
Hang on.
Yes.
Within NNPP, there are several groups.
Within NNPP?
Within NNPP, as with any political party. You understand? Some people came from TNM, the national movement. Some people came from Kwankwasia. Some people had been in NNPP. You understand? As at the time, it was founded by several people, especially Boniface and Ebunam. Do you understand? The national secretary, pending now, was from the Boniface.
But do you agree that your party has 2 national chairmen now?
No.
You have Alikau and you have Agba Major? Okay. Sorry, you don't recognize Agba Major?
Sorry, sir. I don't recognize someone who, within a week of complaining that he was wrongly suspended and expelled, suddenly gathered somewhere and says, I am acting national chairman. And none of you, the press, asked him that.
We did.
Hang on. Did you ask him that? Last week, you said that the party removed you as publicity secretary illegally. How come? Was there a convention? Was there a court order? How come all of a sudden you are now national chairman?
Because we saw the face of Boniface there.
That's not the issue. Can Boniface in a political party, can one person in APC or PDP, look at all the constitutions, can one person simply say, oh, Ladipo Johnson is now the chairman of PDP?
Have you ever complained about him claiming to be the founder of the party?
That's not the issue.
You keep saying that's not the issue.
Hang on. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
It isn't, because I'm not contesting that I wasn't there when the party was founded. I'm telling you that there are several people that found the party. It's not any party. Who is the founder of PDP? Who is the founder of APC?
Many names have been mentioned.
Exactly. They didn't say yes. Alex Ekweme, Solomon La, etc., etc. Not one person. It's not possible. Let's put that to rest so we can discuss better things.
So what are the issues
I will
now?
I will not sit down and say that, oh, one person is founder of a party. Not just NNPP.
But why some of us in the media are assuming that he's the founder and we always single him out? Is because when Konkoso was looking for a platform,
excuse me, sir,
we saw him meeting with Boniface.
Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
You see, we don't need to argue. It's as if we're trying to whatever.
Not at all.
No one says he wasn't the main driving force. But when you say founder, founders,
So just
even ordinary schools, they'll tell you Founders Day. Hardly will you find any of those old schools that will tell you
Ladipo,
that
in our conversation today, we will replace founder with driving force, and then we replace faction with group.
Whatever, right?
Okay.
Now, in answering that second one,
Yes.
there are many groups. Do you understand? Now, that one you are referring to, our dear friend Agbo Major, is no longer a member of the NNPP as we know it.
But if he were
Today,
here with this agreement, do you know that we tried to bring him so that, because we know it's highly technical.
No. Listen to the technicality.
Okay, fine.
Please ask Agbo Major. INEC are currently, you don't need to talk to me, talk to INEC. You see, I don't have, you understand?
Yes.
Talk to INEC. As at today, 11 Mahatma Gandhi, the headquarters of NNPP, INEC were there. They came to conduct their oversight functions. They came to
where Ali Cow is leading.
Yes, he is the acting national chairman.
Yes.
That is it.
And he is loyal to Konkoso.
That's not the issue.
Okay.
Do you understand? Kwankwaso was our presidential candidate. Whether he will be in 2027 or not remains to be seen. Do you understand? In trying to put this here, oh, two groups. No. Agbo Major is not happy with what happened. Whether rightly, wrongly, we expelled him, suspended him, he did not go to court to challenge that part. Mr. Ogini in Ogun State, who is their so-called secretary, national secretary or so, he went to court. The court threw him out in Ogun State. Said, have you gone to follow the internal mechanisms of your party? The answer is no. There are some things that are legal. Let's stop talking sentiments. There are some things. A political party, constitution, follow it. They can suspend you and be wrong in the way they suspended you.
So where do you belong
it?
now? Yes, you, Konkoso, Ali Cow, and what have you. Where do you belong now?
NNPP.
Okay, now are you saying there are no issues in NNPP?
I'm not saying there are no issues.
Okay, then what are the issues now that you are trying to resolve? You are the national auditor.
No, the issues in NNPP as far as we're concerned.
Yes.
We're talking about the Supreme Court. We're talking about Kano State. We're talking about rebuilding the party. Do you understand? Now, just to make life easier for you, we're talking about some former members who are not happy. Some are in court, some are not in court. Today, sir, this morning, roughly about 9:40 something, 10 o'clock, in suit number FHC, that's Federal High Court, /AWK, that's OCA in Anambra, /CS/150 2023. It was NNPP and 5 others, Dr. Boniface and Ebunam, whatever, Agbo Major
yes.
and co, versus Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso and 10 others. I was the 8th defendant in this suit. Yes. They saw all the defendants are in Abuja, but they packed the case to Dr. Anebunam's area in Anambra. They went and they sued over.
Is that not outside the jurisdiction of the court?
No, Federal High Court.
Okay, fine. Okay. So they can hear
I'm a legal practitioner.
Yes, that's why I also call you Esquire, yeah.
So they went, and today, it can be checked tomorrow, verified tomorrow, their case was dismissed.
The Boniface case?
Yes, dismissed. Now, I'm not saying any of the other cases they filed around might succeed, might not succeed. We will challenge and meet every case on its merits. On its merits. This is politics. We need more people. We need people to be around. We're not in the game of trying to push people. I'm going to your other part of the question. Kwankwaso, if you are saying that, is not saying, oh, go away. It is very uncharitable. but he won't say anything. They're saying all sorts of things about him. He won't say anything.
Okay, some of the other things you mentioned,
yes, sir,
Barrister, I think significantly they have to do with maybe internal party mechanism. Are you in any way planning to maybe convene a national convention where you will resolve these issues?
You cannot.
New leaders.
Let me tell you, sir.
Yes.
If you have an issue like this, do you resolve an issue at the convention? It's not possible. Convention is how many hours? You resolve issues way before. Do you understand? Way before the convention.
Well, we're talking about maybe re-electing people into, vacant offices.
Because
or offices that have officials in acting capacity.
Good. When you have offices in acting capacity, they can only act for a certain amount of time. You can now go back to NEC, seek to extend that time, and then you have a convention coming up. Do you understand? And then you do the substantive elections at convention. We are following our timetable. At the right time, the convention will come up, and hopefully it will be a peaceful and whatever convention. The problem you have here is that some people have left the party. But they've chosen.
Is Boniface still in the party?
No, unfortunately. You see.
Boniface, the founder?
Yes.
I mean,
now
one of the founders.
Go straight to the case of Abga. Right? Supreme Court case. I cannot give you the citation. It was there clearly that if you are the founder or one of the founders, it does not mean you are above the Constitution. That is the thing about constitutionalism, unfortunately. So, as I said, that's why I said earlier, sentiments is different from constitutionalism.
Now, can we say you have snatched or have taken away the party?
No one has taken any party away.
And it's not a member of Boniface.
I told you that the national secretary at the moment, along with some other officers, are from him. But they chose not to go with him or to tell him that, doctor, what you are doing is not proper. You cannot single-handedly be saying you are cancelling what the National Working Committee has done or what NEC has done. It's not possible. It is not possible. You see, that's why I say people keep they're spreading rumors, talking sentiments. Fantastic. But we're looking at it like that. Of course, Dr. Boniface is like a father figure to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that if Agbo Major comes in here, we'll say hello. It doesn't. It's not about fighting.
But he's not. Agbo Major is also not a member of your party.
Agbo Major has he has built himself a castle outside the constitution of NNPP that is registered with INEC. That's the best way to put it. And he claims that he's NNPP national chairman. At the right time, we will meet with him. At the right area,
you have to explain,
which is in court.
So that our viewers will really understand.
No, the viewers understand. It seems the viewers understand, sir.
The building of the castle, but me, the anchor of the program.
Hang on. When I say he has built a castle,
yes,
that means he has his own NNPP in quotes.
Faction of sorts.
It's not a faction. It's his own. We give him ownership.
Too.
We give him ownership of whatever he wants to call it. Himself and all of them. We give them ownership. We're not fighting with them. We haven't gone to their office to fight with them. We're not. Do what you want to do. Today, when INEC wanted to conduct verification, they came to Mahatma Gandhi. That is the important thing. Do you understand? Yeah. We told them, come. A lot of people tried to be arbiters in between. That, look, what is all this fighting for? This, that, this. But some of them, because of their ambition, misled Dr. Boniface Anibudam.
All right, thank you. I will plead you hold your breath for a moment as we go on break.
Thank you very much.
Viewers, you two don't go away. We'll be back shortly.
A dark trade is thriving here, in the heart of Mararaba, a bustling satellite town that stretches into Nigeria's federal capital territory.
There is one business for town inside Abuja. They do kidney harvesting.
Abbas is one of at least 6 young men from Mararaba that have followed this dangerous path.
One of my friends called me and told me that there is one hospital that they used to sell kidney.
Selling organ is illegal, is unethical. The repercussions are many. One, on the donor himself.
Bai kamata ka kama yaro ko shi ne ya gaya maka yana so. Bai kamata ka ɗauki yaro ba shawaran iyaye. To yanzu da sun mutu za a yi zubar da gawawakin su kenan.
I don't want me to bury my son. I want them to bury me. But as this thing happened, they're looking like just like ordinary picture.
The investigation is yet to be concluded.
The motive for the donation was money. And when they get the money, and the money will not be able to solve their problems, they ended up with regret. Most of them developed psychological issues. Some of them even got into depression.
Welcome back. If you are just joining, you are watching Daily Politics on Trust TV. Do well to follow the conversation across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. We still have in the studio Ladipo Johnson Esquire, National Auditor of the Opposition NNPP. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you, sir.
It was shocking when your former national chairman, Professor Rufai Alkali, alongside 25 others, joined the APC after leaving your party shortly after the election. What actually forced him out of the party?
Well, it might have been shocking to some people. It wasn't shocking to us.
Why?
We saw it coming.
Professor Rufai Alkali?
Oh, yes. After the elections, he decided, for reasons best known to him, to resign his chairmanship. And after he did that, he wasn't active again. And of course, Kawali was brought in and has since been properly ratified by NEC and what have you. Professor Alkali is a very, very nice person. And one had a good relationship with him. For reasons best known to him,
I think he's a nice person, and his departure wasn't shock to some of you.
No, it wasn't.
Meaning that he was doing something that you anticipated his departure.
No, meaning that since he resigned his chairmanship, unfortunately, since he resigned to the time that he departed, I didn't have the opportunity of seeing him personally. So I wouldn't know why
he left.
In particular, he left. You know, when politicians do things, after they do it, they can say anything to justify opening the doors of where they are going to.
You describe me as a nice person?
Yes.
What we heard from the grapevine,
yes,
he left because of the overbearing disposition of Konkoso.
He would have done that during the elections when he was trying to run things, if the influence was so overbearing.
But is Konkoso an overbearing person?
Konkoso is a strong personality. He's not an overbearing person.
He imposes his decisions?
He doesn't impose. He will always say to you, if you sit down and you're having a strategic meeting, give me superior arguments. Is that imposition? It's not imposition. If you sit with someone who is intellectually sound and you are one of the strategists or one of the anchor men of that person, either the manager in a company, or you're in your studio here, you're in Daily Trust. You will have team meetings, editors and whatever. If you have an editor that is sound, and you come as a reporter and say, no, he'll ask you, why? There must be a reason. That doesn't mean he's overbearing. An overbearing person is one that doesn't listen to advice, when the advice is even superior to his own position.
You think Kwankwaso is not he listens to advice?
Of course he does.
And he takes superior argument?
Definitely, he will ask you.
We were told that he was asked not to meet Tinubu in Paris ahead
Who
of
asked
inauguration.
him not to?
Some of you people, you may not necessarily be one of them,
No,
but he
no,
went there
no.
and that might have contributed to the crisis in NNPP.
Hang on, definitely not. Definitely not. That is an afterthought. And it is the afterthought by the man from Ogun, because he was expelled for adopting another candidate a day or 2 days to the election. He had a governorship candidate. He went to hobnob with another party, without carrying the whole executive along. And when he was expelled, then he now said, oh, Kwankwaso has met with Bola Tinubu, etc., etc. He is the one doing anti-party. Kwankwaso did not meet with Tinubu without the knowledge of the National Caucus of the
Wasn't
party.
it too early at that time?
It wasn't too early. You will not decide for us when, hang on, whoever is speaking, you will not decide for the National Working Committee of the NNPP if the someone who's just won election and says he wants to have a government of national unity. You will not say to us, don't go and listen.
I'm actually, a reporter.
You
and
go
an
and
anchor.
listen.
Yes, it is the opinion of generality of people that
Yes,
that meeting
it was
actually
the opinion.
the actual hill that actually undermined your party.
No,
it's not my statement.
Definitely not. You see, that's why I say let's do some research. Look at the chronological thing.
But has there been any gain from that meeting? Because if anything, what we are seeing now is serious onslaught on NNPP. Talking about Kano now.
Yes.
The party is about, the mandate is about being taken away now.
Sir.
Yes.
If you go for a meeting, you are invited. Once, twice, or 2, 3 times. You are invited. And every time you go, you come and report back to your people. If what is put on the table is not palatable to the majority of your party, you understand, then you don't have to accept it.
What was put on the table for you?
I will not. You can't. I'm not a kid. I will not start to talk blah blah blah. If they have rumors flying out there, let them keep their rumors. Before the election, we had 3 men here between Labour and NNPP. I was fortunate to be one of those who was there, along with Buba Galadima. You understand? And the Senator Victor Ume, Aburi, and Donyo Okupe at that time from Labour. You won't hear me say outside the issues that did not let that thing work. They're confidential meetings. And I'll come and say that Rabiu Kwankwaso told me that this is what the APC said, and we said no or whatever. We won't say that.
We had that.
He
was to be given ministerial position?
Whoever wants to say that should say that. You understand? Because I know that Ganduje was saying something, you understand, some spurious allegations. He can say whatever he wants to say. What goes around comes around.
Now, some of the people that left the NNPP and
especially
joined APC,
yes.
we heard that they have actually helped the APC in getting at your candidate, your governor in Kano.
How?
This issue of him not being a member of
they
NNPP.
cannot help to get, you see, my brother, they are not in a position to help.
All those that left.
Look, let me tell you. If at the time they were in the party, right? If Rufai Alkali. I'm giving an example. If he knew, it isn't the case, Abba Kabir Yusuf is and was a member of the party at all material times. We all joined at the same time. You understand? Let's put that aside because it is before the Supreme Court. It is sub judice. But let me just go around and say, if perchance, for the sake of argument, I'm not admitting, I'm telling you categorically that he was a member at that time. If Mr. A was not a member, and you are national chairman at that time, and then you now cross party to party Z, and then you now say, oh, he wasn't a member at that time. That means that the form he filled for INEC was falsified, right? And that means that you, as chairman, that knew at that time, you are part of the criminal offense.
We'll bring Alkali. We've been trying to...
Do you understand?
Yes.
So I'm not saying he even knew anything, because the registration would have taken place in the ward. Not, the Constitution says you register from your ward. And he was registered, I believe, on the 27th of March. I know this now because we're talking about it. So if not, what is my business about someone registering in Kano? I'm registering in Lagos. So 27th of March, 2022.
So now, the issues in Kano.
Yes.
What are your expectations?
Well, my expectations are that by God's special grace, the Supreme Court will look at the issues before it in a holistic manner. There are several issues before it. The findings of the tribunal, the findings of the Court of Appeal, the contradictory certified true copy of the judgment of the Court of Appeal. All these things must come together. Do you say that all the Supreme Court decisions that you have had on the issue of membership being an internal matter for a party, even as recently as in Obi and Bola Tinubu, it was decided by the Supreme Court. Do you say that when it comes to Kanu, it is different? The tribunal itself that we appealed against in the first place stated that it did not have the jurisdiction to look into that membership because it is a pre-election matter. Then went on to substitute 165,000 votes or something, claiming that they were not stamped or signed or whatever. The Court of Appeal did not look at the 165,000 votes and went to pick what the tribunal said it had no jurisdiction and said what they said. But as God would have it, for some reason there are some 3 paragraphs, especially the conclusion of the lead judgment, that actually said the judgment of the tribunal was set aside. That the appeal of the NNPP or Abba Kabir Yusuf succeeded. So how? Very, very embarrassing for the Nigerian judiciary. We should all hide our heads in shame.
And what you are saying is without prejudice to the case.
Definitely.
In the court.
And we're hoping, as I said, that the Supreme Court will do justice to the matter. Law, they say. I saw it in an article yesterday.
It's an as?
No, it says law is social engineering. There's a jurisprudential school of law. It says, he described law as social engineering. You look at society, you look at what is happening, you understand. The courts are not meant to take the place of the legislature. Just like the executive are not meant to interfere in the judiciary or the legislature for that matter. They are three co-equal arms of government. We need to learn in Nigeria to separate them.
Okay, yesterday we saw a kind of coalition. Your party was there, PDP was there, SDP, and quite a number of other political parties, and formed another alliance of sorts. Is that indication of the melting of NNPP and all the rest into one political party? Or you're not privy to what happened yesterday?
What I want to ask was who represented the NNPP at that meeting?
I should ask you.
Exactly. That is not to my knowledge, although I wasn't around. I came into Abuja late last night.
So maybe it's from the Boniface faction or Boniface group in our context here.
Yes, yes. Maybe it is from Agbo's NNPP that is not the NNPP before INEC.
Will you be amenable to alliances?
Yes, I want to answer seriously now.
Okay.
What I will say is that we've heard a lot about alliances, not just with the PDP and Labour. Some have spoken about alliances, even with the APC, you understand. The bottom line is that the end goal for us is to ensure that we do a bit to bring good governance to the people of the country. And as such, we are always talking and being open to people suggesting and giving ideas. And you take this thing, you process it. When you do, and if it is acceptable to you, then you go through your NEC, through your National Working Committee, to your NEC, to the convention.
Abdulmumin Jibril, of course, a member of your party, said that the party is amenable to alliance,
yes,
even including APC.
That's what I was.
Does that represent your view also?
My personal view?
Yes.
Ladipo Johnson's view?
Yes.
It will be difficult though.
You don't want that?
No. It's a democracy. If the majority of members say that, you understand? Because I do not like the direction in which the APC is driving Nigeria at the moment, you know. So if my view matters in any way, I would need to be convinced that if you have a marriage with them, they will
it will not be a marriage of convenience.
They will be able to reduce the sufferings of the average man on the streets. You understand? But that is the beauty of politics. Jubrin might see what I cannot see. You understand what I'm saying? And I might have prejudices because I'm coming from Lagos with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and I have my views about him. You understand? So I might have prejudices. I don't know. But I don't tell lies about how I feel.
Finally, I want you to answer this in less than 30 seconds.
30 seconds, yes.
Yes. Do you agree that APC is pushing towards having a one-party state? And what do you think should be done, if you agree?
Well, even if they're not pushing towards a one-party state, the optics, what people see is that it seems that way.
And I'm compelled to say, what will that lead Nigeria to?
It stops our multi-party democracy.
Thank you very much. I wish we have more time. Ladipo Johnson, National Auditor of NNPP.
The
Konkoso function.
No, Konkoso function.
Anyway.
And
thank you very much for coming to the program.
Recognized by INEC. Thank you, sir.
We enjoy your conversation and we hope that our viewers also.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We hope to have you again. Yes, viewers, that's a wrap on today's package, which we hope you enjoy, and we sincerely hope you found the conversation engaging and informative. And be sure to join Daily Politics Live, airing every weekday, and also our special package on Friday, during which we open our telephone line for you to comment on national issues. Tomorrow is your day. Once again, bye-bye for now. We thank you for watching. I'm Hamza Idris.